Hello, students. Welcome to our ninth lesson. Today, we are going to discuss about the MICE industry, its meaning and importance. Are you ready? Let's begin. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the meaning and importance of the MICE industry, describe the evolution of the MICE industry, clarify the difference between meeting, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions, discuss the key players in the MICE industry, describe the emerging trends in the MICE industry, and explain the employment opportunities in the MICE industry. First, let us tackle about the meaning and importance of the MICE industry. As we all know, MICE stands for meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions. So the MICE industry is one of the fastest growing and lucrative area of the tourism and hospitality industry. Hence, it is also necessary that we understand its nature and importance. The MICE industry includes different areas such as conferences, meetings, incentives, exhibitions, and trade shows. One of the significant features of the MICE industry is its potential to attract national and international visitors. All of the visitors in a MICE activity or MICE events are called as delegates or attendees. MICE events provide additional benefits to the country in the form of business opportunities, education, and trading. Now let's talk about the evolution of MICE industry. The MICE is young when we talk about tourism and hospitality industry as a whole. Before 1960, persons traveling to conventions either drove or traveled by train. With the introduction of the Boeing 707 in 1958, the airplane provided an affordable and fast alternative to cars and trains. The jet age stimulated business and leisure travel. The intense construction of hotels and convention centers began in the 1970s. The features added to attract the convention participants were removing interior posts, barrier-free space, flexible walls, and improved lighting. In the 1980s, cities began to build convention centers to host large conventions and expositions. The largest convention center was built in 1989 and approximately 1 million square feet at flexible meeting space. Now let's talk about the different forms of meeting. So meetings can actually, it could be conventions, seminars, workshops, or it is an activity wherein people meet to discuss a specific topic. Now, we have different types of meeting. So first is clinic. So it is a workshop where attendees learn by doing, involving small groups who interact with each other individually. So it is a form of a workshop wherein each of the participants are having interaction with each other. Another one is a forum. It is an assembly for a discussion of the group's common concerns, featuring a panel of experts who take opposite sides of an issue. Therefore, usually in a forum, it has a debate or discussion. Next is seminars. So it is a gathering of professionals who work together under the guidance of a discussion leader. Usually seminars are in a lecture form. Next is a symposium. So it is a meeting where a subject is discussed by experts and a consensus of the group is gathered. And we have also a workshop. So a workshop is a small group led by a trainer concentrating on skill enhancement. So what's the difference between a clinic and a workshop? A clinic is in a small form and each of the attendees are having interactions with each other, while a workshop has a leader or a trainer who facilitates the workshop or the activities. Next is conference. So conference is a formal meeting of professionals for the exchange of opinions and information, while convention is a large meeting of people assembled for a common purpose. We also have colloquium. It is an informal discussion on group selected topics. We have also panel, which consists of two or more speakers stating their viewpoints. And lastly, we have lecture. It is a meeting in which an expert speaker addresses an audience. So what's the difference between meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibitions? So when we talk about meetings, usually they are in a small group and they are brainstorming and discussing about a specific topic. When we talk about incentives, these are rewards given to employees to motivate them to work more or to be more productive. Incentives can be in a form of travel. It could also be in a form of goods. So there are companies who provide money as a form of rewards. Some are providing gifts and some also provides travel benefits. So travel is the most one of the most expensive type of incentive, and it is also the best for most of the employees because when traveling you experience more different activities and even exotic places. Conventions, on the other hand, is a gathering of many participants. As you can see in the picture, they are gathered for a specific purpose. So usually in a convention, it includes discussion of different topics which has a common interest for the group. And lastly, exhibitions. Exhibitions is more on exhibiting different products or services. It could be to promote their products or to sell it to its potential customers. So that's the difference between the four. So in meetings, we have different setups in meetings depending on the client's needs. First is we have the theater style. So when we talk about theater style, as you can see in the picture, it looks like that the arrangement is you are in a theater and the speaker is in front having also a screen projector. Next is the classroom style. So in classroom style, it's like a classroom type discussion wherein the participants or attendees need to read documents or write something while they are having the discussion. And usually they have a table in front. Lastly, we have the boardroom style wherein, as you can see in the picture, it is set up like the board of trustees or the exegoms are discussing with each other. It could be in a U shape like this in this picture, and there is a projector in front. So here is a typical flow of a convention. So of course, it has a welcome registration. It also has an introduction of the president of the association. First, keynote address by a speaker, followed by exposition booths open. Then it has also have several workshops or presentation on specific topics. Or after that, they could have a luncheon. Then more workshops and presentations, demonstration of special topics, vendors' private receptions if there are, then dinner if there is a dinner, and after that the convention center closes. So if it is a whole day event, it will include lunch and dinner for those who have fellowship activities like what we usually do in our organization. But there are also some conventions that only include lunch and snacks, and there are even conventions that are uh, a short period, like it's just a half day convention, or it depends on the activity. The flow of the activity, the flow of the convention rather, depends on the type of activity that they are doing. Now, when planning an incentive, you need to think about these things. You need to consider these things. First, you need to set specific goals of what is the purpose of having this incentive. Second, you need to measure the performance of the employee whom you're going to give your incentives. Next, you need to communicate standards to the participants. What should they follow for them to get the incentives? Next is you need to choose the rewards appropriate to the participants. Okay, so if it is an old employee, then traveling could, the type of travel will depend on the age of your employee, or it depends on their ability or performance. Or if they are ladies and you're gonna give them goods, then it should be appropriate also for the ladies. So your reward should be appropriate to your participants. And if their performance is very high, then as much as possible, you also give a high incentive for them to be more motivated and well compensated. And lastly is you need to celebrate achievements, at least recognize your employees among their colleagues. Now let's talk about the different key players in the MICE industry. So first we have the meeting planners. So the meeting planners, they are those who create plans for a specific meeting. So the professional meeting planner makes hotel and meeting bookings and ensures that the services contracted have been delivered. So they have more interactions with hotel managers or sales and marketing personnel of the hotel. So the following are the activities of the meeting planner. Usually, they plan meeting agenda, establish meeting objectives, predict attendance, set meeting budget, select meeting site, select meeting facility, select hotel, negotiate contracts, plan exhibitions, prepare exhibitor correspondence and packet, create marketing plan, plan travel to and from site, arrange ground transportation, organize shipping, and organize audiovisual needs. So if you want to be a meeting planner, these are the usual things that you need to do. And now, when you are on site, while you are having your meeting, then these are the things that you need to do. So you need to conduct a pre-event briefing, prepare executive plan, move people in or out, troubleshoot if there are any problems that may occur, and approve invoices. And after the meeting activity, you need to have a debriefing, evaluate what have been the feedback from the meeting. If it's good or bad, you need to include both, because if there will be good things that happen during the meeting, at least recognize the people involved in the meeting, in the organizing and planning of the meeting. And if there are bad things that happen during the meeting, then at least you must use them as your lesson for you to improve more on your next meeting. Then you need to provide recognition and appreciation, arrange shipping, and plan for next year. Another key player of the MICE industry is the Convention and Visitors Bureau, or CVBs. So CVBs are non-profit organization representing an urban area that tries to solicit business to pleasure-seeking visitors. It has the following responsibilities. So to encourage groups to hold meetings, conventions, and trade shows in the area it represents, to assist groups with meeting preparations and give support throughout the meeting, and to encourage tourists to participate in historical, cultural, and recreational opportunities offered by the city. And lastly is to develop and promote the image of the community it represents. So this is a picture of the Philippine International Convention Center. And convention centers are usually large facilities where meetings and expositions are held. So it is found in Manila. Next is event management. So the events in large convention centers are planned many years in advance. When you're going to organize an event, guys, at least you need to plan them ahead of time because you need to contact a lot of people, you need to organize your activity, the flow of the programs, and the logistics. So you need to prepare all those things ahead. That's why planning ahead of time is very important. So the Convention and Visitors Bureau is responsible for the booking of conventions more than 18 months ahead. So just imagine that is 1 year, more than 1 year ahead. Now, when they are having an event, then there will be a contract signing. So what is a contract? A contract is written based on the event profile. Okay, that is the content of your profile. It is an agreement between the client and the event organizer. So the event manager is the key contact between the center and the client. Next, we have the specialized services. So specialized services, these are specialized activities that are offered to specific companies for a specific activity. So several companies offer specialized services such as transportation, entertainment, audiovisual, escorts and tour guides, convention setup, and destination management. So they are also important in the MICE industry because they provide the other services that are not usually provided by our event managers. Next, let's discuss about the different professional associations in the MICE industry. First, we have the Convention Industry Council. So the CIC was founded in 1949 as an umbrella organization for 4 professional associations representing hotels, convention centers, and association executives. Their purpose was to address all industry groups' professional concerns and offer certification of meeting professionals of the CMP. Next is the European Meetings Industry Liaison Group. It is called the European Alliance of the CIC. It is composed of 5 groups: International Association of Conference Interpreters, International Congress and Convention Association, International Association of Professional Congress Organizers, Meeting Professionals International, European Federation of Conference Towns. Next is the International Association of Professional Congress Organizers, or the IAPCO. So the IAPCO was founded in 1968 and its headquarters is in Belgium. It has members from 52 companies as well as individual members. The majority of the members are from Europe, but there are also members from Australia, USA, Canada, Latin America, and the Middle East. Another one is the International Congress and Convention Association, or the ICCA. It was founded in 1963 and its headquarters is in the Netherlands. The ICCA has very strict guidelines which require members to conduct meetings in at least 4 different continents. It has members from 100 countries that include convention centers, travel agents, airlines, and other industry-related services companies. The other one is International Federation of Conference Towns. So like the ICCA, it has very specific membership guidelines which require cities to have first conference facilities that can accommodate at least 300 participants, proper equipment, traditional meeting services, satisfactory hotel accommodations for at least 300 participants, necessary transportation, team of experts in conference organizations, and proof that it has hosted at least 5 international conferences for the past 3 years. So take note of that. They are very specific and they are very strict, kind of strict in their guidelines. So if you want to be a member of this organization, then at least you need to follow all of these requirements. Another one is the International Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus, or IACVB. The IACVB originated in the United States. It has several international members, and their most common services are destination information services, supplier networks, and housing assistance programs. Next is the Professional Convention Management Association and Meeting Professionals International, or the PCMA and MPI. The PCMA and MPI are professional associations for industry professionals, and they provide education programs and have excellent publications and resources. So more on, they are usually related on academic tracks. All right, so another one, we have Foundation for International Meeting, or FIM. So it was established in 1983. It has focused on MICE industry organizations that conduct international meetings. FIM offers several educational travel opportunities and unique trade mission program that links members with their counterparts in other countries. And lastly, we have American Society of Association Executives, or ASAE. So the ASAE was established in 1920 and its headquarters is in Washington, D.C. It has more than 35,000 individual members who manage professional, trade, and philanthropic associations, which serve more than 287 million people and companies worldwide. All right, so now let's talk about convention and special events management companies. So there are several types of companies or organizations that provide special events management services. So the following are companies that provide convention and special events management services. We have destination management companies, independent meeting management companies, travel management companies, special events professionals, public relation firms, and government entities and tourism offices. So first is the destination management companies. So destination management companies are private companies that offer services primarily for inbound customers, meaning when they are coming in the destination, or for example, if we are gonna hold the event here in the Philippines, those who want to organize event here, they need to contact our destination management companies within here in the Philippines, and our clients are foreigners from abroad. The corresponding European service provider is known as Professional Convention Organizer, or BCO. The primary responsibility of DMCs is to expose their clients to opportunities available in the surrounding area and prepare a proposal describing the preferred events and costs, selecting and organizing the special events for the convention attendees. As soon as they are selected as the DMC for the inbound group, they will organize the event, secure the site, obtain permits, and hire suppliers such as the caterer, decorators, bands, and entertainment. So usually, they are the ones who prepare everything before their clients arrive in the venue. Next is the independent meeting management company. So these companies provide services to outbound groups. Okay, so while DMCs are usually for inbound, independent meeting management companies are usually for outbound groups, meaning for those who want to plan their events outside of the country or the destination. So these companies provide services to outbound groups. When the independent meeting planner conducts a meeting away from the home city, he or she will hire the DMC in the host city because the destination management requires experts from the local area. Therefore, the independent meeting management company must have a collaboration or an agreement with the DMC because DMCs know best about their local area. When the independent meeting planner is in his or her home territory, he or she will provide services to inbound groups to maximize profits. Another one is the travel management companies. So large travel management companies organize destination management companies as part of their larger travel services product offerings. So large travel management companies are similar to the national chain operations. And we also have the major event producers. So these companies provide sophisticated and highly technical events such as the Super Bowl and Olympics, and political events such as the Democrat and Republican national conventions and presidential inaugurations. We also have the special events market. So these are the following types of events included in the special events market. We have corporate events, so it includes incentive programs, product introductions, building openings, recognition events, anniversaries, retirement, groundbreaking, and ribbon cuttings. It could also be in a form of meetings, conventions, expositions like opening ceremonies, gala dinner, dances, opening receptions, award ceremonies, theme events, trade shows, and expositions. We also have the public events like parades, fireworks, displays, festivals, fairs, inaugurations or swearing in ceremonies, holiday observances, military ceremonies, and sporting events. And we also have retail events, which may include grand openings, promotions, celebrity appearances, and seasonal promotions. And lastly, we have the social or private events, which may include weddings, anniversaries, graduations, reunions, funerals, memorials, births, christening, charity balls, runs, and auctions. So when we talk about social or private events, we have a lot of meeting organizers and planners here in Tagum City. Now let's talk about the emerging trends in the MICE industry. So we have two leading factors in the development of the MICE industry. First, we have the changes in the communication system, specifically that the internet and its diverse applications. Nowadays, we are using more internet services. We usually interact online, especially that we are experiencing pandemic and we are in lockdown, usually, or at this time we are in a quarantine period, and most of us are working from home, having our classes at home or having our activities at home because our travel is limited and restricted. Hence, most of us, we communicate online. Even when we talk to our friends, we usually chat them through Messenger, or at least comment to them by Facebook, or call them through WeChat or in any type of social media platforms. So with this, you need to be updated on the current trends. You need to go with the current trends for you not to be left behind. When the pandemic had happened, for at least it has been more than a year, the mice industry has really experienced devastation, and it has a big impact, no, in the mice industry. The pandemic really impacted the mice industry because we lost a lot of income, potential income, because we were not able to meet, we were not able to conduct different events because of course we need to follow social distancing protocols. But now we are slowly going back to our new normal. We are allowed to conduct events, but still we need to follow the protocols. Okay. Next is the changing character of nations into a global community. So many corporations have already started the process of globalization. At present, small organizations and individuals can equally participate in global integration. One thing that is so good with this online interaction is that we could organize an event online wherein international participants could join our online activity, right? Because it is more easier and more convenient so long as we have internet connection. And lastly, we will talk about the employment opportunities in the mice industry. So actually, guys, the main qualifications in the mice industry are education and practical experience. It doesn't really need that you need to be a graduate of HM or TM, so long as you know how to plan, you have the skills on organizing events, and you know its basic principles and concepts, then you are good to go and you can have employment in the mice industry. But if you want to have a position, a higher position in the mice industry, then you need, of course, to have educational background. At least you must be a graduate of a specific field. So this could be the following job in a higher position that you could have in the MICE industry. You could be a director of convention services, convention service manager, director of group sales, director of food and beverage, director of catering operations or sales, director of marketing, hospitality coordinator or room service, director of human resources, resident manager, or director of national accounts. But these are just only few of the jobs that you could have when you are planning to work in the MICE industry, because aside from this, you could be an event planner or meeting planner, wedding coordinator or event coordinator, or you could also be a supplier of the flowers or the facilities or the things that we use in our events. So we have a lot of employment opportunities in the MICE industry. You just need to invest in your skills and talents. So you need to have trainings. All right, so that's the end of our lesson. If you have any question, you may ask them during our virtual class meeting. See you!